Hello and welcome to the second video discussing what we've been looking at in humanities this quarter so far. And today's video is going to be looking at the geocentric model of the universe and the heliocentric model of the universe. So let's get away with this one for now, and let's focus on the geocentric model of the universe. And this can also be viewed as a system, because it is. And the geocentric model or system of the universe basically said that the Earth is in the center of the universe and doesn't move. And that all of the other planets, some have been missed off obviously, and the Sun, they all orbit around the Earth. And on the outside of the universe, there is the sphere of the prime mover. And this is a theory from Aristotle, who was a Greek philosopher and scientist in ancient Greece, and a very respected philosopher. And he said that everything in the universe has a cause and effect. It all starts from somewhere. But there is a point where there is an immovable object, something which cannot move, that is unmoved. And this thing has created everything else that has subsequently gone before. And therefore, this is the sphere of the prime mover. Then, the Christian Church, the Roman Catholic Church, obviously must have read this, and they believed it, because it justified and supported what was written in the Bible. And they looked at the sphere of the prime mover and they thought, sounds a little bit like God. So God was the first thing. Before God there was nothing. And then God created everything else. And this was very similar to the sphere of the prime mover. So the Roman Catholic Church, being all-powerful and the most powerful organization in medieval Europe, decided to promote this and said that this was true. This is how society worked. This is how the world worked, and also how the universe was, with God on the outside controlling everything. And then there were some scientists that came along, and we're looking specifically at Copernicus and Galileo. Now, Copernicus was a Polish astronomer, and he read the work of other Arab scholars and looked at the fact that there could be a different explanation for how the universe worked. And he believed that actually this was wrong. He said that the Sun was at the center of the universe, and that all of the planets orbited around the Sun, which included the Earth. So in the geocentric model, the Earth is at the center. In the heliocentric model, the Sun is at the center. And importantly, in the heliocentric model, there was no prime mover, which implies if the prime mover does not exist, then God does not exist. And he wrote his book on this, and on his deathbed he asked for a pardon from the Pope so that he wouldn't be penalized for what he was writing, because his work was going against Christianity, and to go against Christianity was to go against God. And then Galileo read Copernicus's work, and he built a telescope. And he decided to observe the stars and the planets to prove or disprove whether the heliocentric version was true or whether the geocentric version of the universe was true. And through his observations, he found out that the heliocentric model of the universe was correct. And he began to write a book explaining his findings. That the heliocentric model of the universe was correct, therefore no prime mover and no God. So the church found out about this, and they were not very happy. And they forced Galileo to burn all of his books and all of his work. And they forced him to write a book which said that the geocentric model of the universe was correct. And then they put him under house arrest. And this meant that the knowledge of Galileo could not be spread around to anybody else. And the main issue that the church had with the heliocentric version of the universe was that there was no God. Ooh, no God. And by the way, that's a D. It's not a, that's a D there at the end, it's not a O, okay? And therefore, if there is no God, then what do people believe in? So, basically, they made sure that the geocentric model of the universe remained to be the truth, and that people continued to believe that this was the truth. Because the possible impact on the balance of society was that if people started to believe what the scientists had said, then they wouldn't believe the church. And then people may not believe in the church at all. And therefore, that would disrupt the balance of the society at that time, because the church was a very big part in the lives of every individual. And therefore, it was important for the church to ensure that the geocentric version and model of the universe was the one that people knew about, and nobody knew about the heliocentric version. So the church were able to use their power and their authority to stop any of this news being released. And that is how, for many years, people still continued to believe that the earth was at the center of the universe. And throughout time, there have been many things that have been disproven. For example, people used to think that the earth itself was flat, and that if you sailed a boat to the horizon, you would fall off the edge. Obviously, this was disproved through exploration, and also when we're looking at the heliocentric model, the geocentric model was disproved through observation and through research. But at that time of Galileo, there was no immediate impact because the church was able to control the information, and they stopped the information from being released. So it was out there, one or two people knew about it, but it wasn't allowed to be spread. And because the church persecuted the likes of Galileo, this prevented other people from also writing about similar information.